It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News, which is live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. It's also live on all our partner stations across the country and around the globe on citinewsroom.com. I am Wilma Ububi Sakoman, and this afternoon I'm here with
Hawa Idrisu.
Coming up over the next 1 hour, pensioner bondholders continue to converge on the premises of the Finance Ministry in hope of being totally exempted from government's domestic debt exchange program as picketing enters day 6.
That if at the end of February 2023, the money is not paid to the Education Service Occupational Pension Scheme for investment, we are going to stop the payment of fees to the National Pension Regulatory Authority.
Also coming up, criminal court in Accra grants bail to 4 persons who were charged for failing to comply and declare their sources of income following a lifestyle audit by Office of the Special Prosecutor. Still ahead, basic schools in Yankala in the northern region remain closed following gunshots by unknown persons over the weekend. And later, Labour analyst Austin Gami cautions that Ghana's human resource will continue to deplete as many youth leave the country to seek greener pastures if no intervention is made urgently.
People will have to go and continue to live. There's coming a time you need the human resource. They don't have any interest in staying in this country any longer. And that should be of concern to all of us.
Stay tuned as we bring you details of all that and more on the Citi Prime News, which is also live on all our partner stations. In the Western region, we're on Beach 105.5 and Sky Power 93.5 FM all in Takoradi. In the Bono region, we're on Green and 95.9 FM in Sunyani. In the Ashanti region, we're on Focus 94.3 FM and Orange 107.9 FM all in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we're on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajewu and Cool 103.5 FM in Ho. In the northern region, we're on Radio Bimbula 91.9 FM. In the Upper East, we're on Tanga 93.7 FM in Bolga. And in the Upper West, we're on Tungsong 97.3 FM in Wa.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Many thanks for staying with us. We'll settle for the details of our stories now. Pensioner bondholders say they're optimistic that the government will eventually exempt their investments from the domestic debt exchange program. The retiree investors in government securities have been picketing at the Finance Ministry since February 6 to demand this exemption. On day 6 of the protest, some of them say they are hopeful their demand will be met.
I think the government is going through its books today, and I believe that after going through the books, they will definitely exempt us. That's my belief, that they will see that the program can go through without a portion of the bonds, and so they will exempt us. You are hopeful? I believe. I think it's a caring government, so they will understand and they will do it.
Most people spend most of their time working, and they are exposed to workplace hazards, which does not reflect immediately in their health. Their chronic hazard, after 60, most of them start reflecting. And our pension system is such that these people don't benefit from free medical care. So a lot of people have invested in government bonds to take care of the unknown when they go on retirement. Some depends on this to pay the school fees of their children.
Yes, I'm equally optimistic because I think that the whole program, IMF program, can go on without the pensioners. After all, how much is our money? It's not that colossal. At that time, they're talking about 3.6, 2.6. Let's even say it's 3 billion. So 3 billion, can't we stop 1 or 2 projects? To pay the pensioners. The elders say, who try to take them out to Trivia. If you cut your tank and roast into you've not eaten any meat. If you kill your old agents, and then get all projects that you want. Who are going to benefit from that? Who are the elders also to advise the young ones? And what is the signal that will be sent to the younger generation?
Those were some pensioner bondholders optimistic of being exempted from the domestic debt exchange program. We are joined over the phone lines by my colleague Charles Owusukumi, who has been following this story. Many thanks for joining us, Charles. Today is day 6. What is so different about today's?
Well, thank you, Wilma. So today's protest was quite similar to the ones that we've had, except, of course, on Friday when the former Chief Justice of Kufu joined. Today, the sense of optimism around the place it was quite high, and because of what happened on Friday, it was obvious that the protest was getting a lot of traction from very high quarters in society, and so the protesters tell us that they are optimistic that some of the conversations that have been going on since Friday point to the fact that it is likely that government may eventually exempt them from the program. So the normal prayer singing, it took a similar format today, except that it was quite, the optimism level was quite high. And also there were a few people from other regions. So there was one person from the Oti region, and I think there was also another person from Kumasi. And they said they saw it on TV. They are also pensioners, and they say they also have investment in government bonds and securities. So they have come to join. Actually, Kumasi, the one from Kumasi came in quite late. The picketing today had already ended when he came in, but the one from Oti began with them today. So these are some of the things that happened at today's picketing.
Did they get any response from the Finance Ministry?
Well, no. Nobody from the Finance Ministry came in to either address them or to say anything. It was just a different kind of police presence today. So ordinarily, for Monday, you'd have just one police officer stick around. So there was one police officer throughout the whole week, from Monday to Friday. But today, there was actually a police patrol vehicle stationed there with about 3 police officers around. We don't know what that is, but that was quite significant during today's protest. There was no one from the Finance Ministry, no response, just the picketers doing their own thing, and then when they were done at 11, they all dispersed. We are told that a similar thing will happen today. They intend to, tomorrow, Tuesday, they intend to come here again, also on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, when the Finance Minister goes to Parliament, we know that the Finance Minister, his date with Parliament has been scheduled to Thursday, and they will go and listen to exactly what he has to say. The convener for the Pensioner Bondholders Forum, Dr. Edwin Anyanchi, says that he's optimistic that between now and Thursday, governments may eventually exempt them. If that happens, then the picketing, of course, will end. But if that does not happen, they intend to come to the Finance Ministry every morning between 10 and 11 and continue until they get what they are looking for.
Thank you very much for that update. That was my colleague Charles Owusukumi, who has been following the pensioners bondholders picket at the Finance Ministry. Hawa has more stories.
The Ghana Grid Company Limited, Gridco, is lamenting the impact of illegal mining on its operations. The company says illegal miners have begun digging in areas close to its towers and stealing some key component on their towers, thus creating huge financial losses for the company. The chief executive of Gridco, Engineer Ebenezer Kofi Esinyi, says a concerted effort is needed to fight this menace.
I don't know whether the gold has started to normally form around the base of our towers. It's becoming a problem for us where galamseyers consciously dig under our lines. There are challenges where we needed to go and relocate the tower at an additional cost. The one that there was working so well, but you can see that the line guys will come and tell us that, tower is collapsing because, or some of the steel members have been removed by the galamseyers, because I understand they use it to do whatever in their tunnels. Galamsey cost, it's huge. Some of them, instead of one tower, we need to leave the tower place, get contractors to spend maybe $200,000 to insert an additional tower, which under normal circumstances we shouldn't have. When they do and the tower collapses, the cost of unserved energy, because industries will go down. Those are all big costs that we easily don't quantify, but it's really a challenge to us. This infrastructure are there for our collective good, and we need to protect them.
That was the Chief Executive of the Ghana Grid Company Limited, Engineer Ebenezer Kofi Esienyi.
Now, the staff of the Northern Electricity Company Limited, Netco, has petitioned the Minister of Energy, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, for the removal of their Managing Director, Osman Aludiba Ayuba. The staff argued that the financial performance of Netco has worsened since his assumption of office in 2019. They also stated the following concerns: a lack of a clear strategy for the company, the exorbitant sole source procurement of point-of-sale devices, and worsening distribution losses. The group has partially withdrawn its services in all its operational areas in protest. In an interview with Citi News, the senior chairman of the Senior Staff Association of Netco branch, William Kwame Asare, said they were expectant of a favorable response from the Energy Minister.
The resolution has been submitted to the Office of the Honorable Minister this morning, Monday, 13th February. The Minister indicated at our last meeting that he will take it up with His Excellency the President. So we expect the Minister to give us some feedback after his engagement with His Excellency.
When are you expecting this feedback?
We don't know when the Minister is going to get back to us. But our expectation is that hopefully by the close of the week.
After the first meeting that you had, has there been any changes in the way your MD works and relates with the staff?
Well, for now, the staff are on a partial withdrawal of services. So there's not much going. There's not much happening. We are expecting the Minister to take the issue up and give us some feedback.
William Kwame Asare is the senior chairman of the Senior Staff Association of the Northern Electricity Company Limited, Netco.
Now, the Judicial Service has announced the suspension of sittings of the Court of Appeal in 4 regional capitals, namely Tamale, Cape Coast, Ho, and Koforidua, as contained in the public notice. All appeals from the northern sector of the country, including Upper East, Upper West, Northeast, Northern, Savannah, Bono East, Ahafo, Western North, and Ashanti regions, will be heard in Kumasi, while all appeals in the southern sector, including the Western, Central, Eastern, Oti, Volta, and Greater Accra region, will be heard in Accra. In view of this, all pending appeals in the Court of Appeal listed above are accordingly transferred to Kumasi and Accra respectively. In a Twitter post, the Minority Whip and MP for Adaklu Governs Kwame Agboja has questioned the reason for the closure of the appeals court. He says, while they are advocating for the construction of more courts and the training of more lawyers and judges to bring justice closer to the people, the Judicial Service has taken this action.
We'll go to the northern region, where basic schools in Yankala in the Tolon district remain closed following 2 shooting incidents caused by unknown persons over an alleged chieftaincy dispute. The gunshot started on Thursday, February 9, before the situation was brought under control. However, there was more gunfire in the community yesterday, leaving residents worried. The identity of the shooters and their motives are unknown, but some residents believe the incidents are connected to the enskinment of a new chief in the community. Some students affected by the closure of schools at Yankala spoke to Citi News.
We've not yet closed from school, but they say we should go home because of the situation. People in the community are running away because of the situation. Every day they are shooting guns, and that it affects our studies. We can't learn, and we can't go to school again.
It affects our education. We can't learn. Everywhere we are in the house, we can't go out. We can't go out everywhere. There are soldiers in the community.
Those were some students in Yankala in the northern region. We go over the phone lines to speak to our northern regional correspondent, Dinah Ingwan, who is in Yankala, to tell us more. Good afternoon, Dinah. Many thanks for joining us. Now, describe to us what the atmosphere is like in the community this afternoon.
I'm in Yankala, and the situation is calm. If you are a stranger here, you will not know that there's any tension here because people are moving around and there are businesses about their normal business, and just that schools are closed. I'm in one of the schools here. Teachers are in the class, they are in their offices.
Hello, Dinah. Hello, Dinah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, please. I think you should stand at somewhere very properly so that we can hear you. Your line seems to be breaking.
Hear me now?
I can hear you now. Please continue.
Yes. So in one of the schools here, the headmaster is still around. He's in his office, but we understand that children are not in school because their parents asked them not to come due to the security situation here. They say it's not safe. I met some of the children who went to school coming back from school. They are going back home. I asked them, their teachers asked them to go home because of the current situation. But as it stands now, there are no gunshots currently in the community. But we understand that during the night, that's when the gunshots happen. But currently, the situation is calm. I also saw the military and the police vehicle patrolling the community. But the situation currently is relatively calm. People are going about their normal duties.
What is this a security situation like? Are the police patrolling?
Since two police vehicles patrolling the community, I also saw a military car moving about in the community just to ensure that there's calm in the area. But as we speak, there's no tension. I can see children moving around. People are riding on their bicycles and motorbikes freely currently, but there's no gunshots at the moment. But we understand it's during the night that these things happen. But we also do know it's because of the installment of a new chief for the area that has resulted in this thing. And we understand the new chief is in the palace currently, but we do not know where the regent is at the moment.
Thank you very much for that update. That was our Northern Regional Correspondent, Dinah Ingwan. Hawa has more stories.
Now, President Akufo-Addo is confident Ghana's current economic challenges will be resolved soon. Nana Akufo-Addo believes measures put in place by the government, including the domestic debt exchange program, will help revive the economy. The president was speaking at the 18th Consultative Council of Meeting of the Anglican Church.
I'm fully aware that these are difficult times for us in Ghana, just as they are for most people in the world, cold comfort as that may be. However, with the help of Almighty God and backed by a sense of determination, hard work and collective sacrifices on our part, I am confident that we will successfully confront these difficulties, bring relief to the Ghanaian people, and return our economy to the high rates of growth that characterized the management of our economy in the years preceding the COVID outbreak in 2020 and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Government is implementing a number of policy measures to this end, and sooner rather than later, we shall indeed overcome. As I extend my best compliments to you and wish you a successful meeting, I urge all of you to bear in mind the words of Holy Scripture in Colossians chapter 3, verses 23 to 24, which say, and I quote, "Whatever you do, work heartily, as for the Lord and not from men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive an inheritance as your reward," unquote.
That was President Akufo-Addo.
The government is urging media houses to use radio as a tool to promote peace rather than to incite violence among the citizenry. As the world celebrates Radio Day today on the theme Radio and Peace, the Minister of Information, Kojo Nkrumah, says media houses in conflict-prone areas should be circumspect on their reportage. He added that with the key role radio plays in the country, it is important for media companies to contribute their quota to promoting peace.
With the theme of Radio and Peace, we'd like to draw the attention of media houses that operate particularly in areas where sometimes conflicts may rise up. In Boko and other places, I'm sure you are familiar with the stories of how media houses or radio sometimes have contributed to the conflict instead of helping to bring about radio and peace. To bring about peace in those times. And so on a day like this, as we celebrate World Radio Day with the theme Radio and Peace, we'd like to in particular remind our colleagues who operate in places where sometimes tensions may rise, where sometimes there may be conflict, that we have a particular responsibility to help in the exercise to bring peace and unity and not necessarily fuel it.
That was the Minister of Information, Kojo Nkrumah. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studios at Adabraka in Accra. Still ahead in the bulletin, criminal court in Accra grants bail to 3 out of 4 persons who were charged for failing to comply and declare their sources of income following lifestyle audits by Office of the Special Prosecutor. We'll bring you details of this and others shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Yeah, welcome back. Now, the Criminal Division of the High Court in Accra has granted bail to 3 out of 4 persons charged for failing to declare their sources of income. The special prosecutor arrested the 3 public servants and 1 civil servant and charged them for failing to comply and declare sources of income, contravening Regulation 20 of LI 2374. The 4 are Issa Seidu, James Kek Osei, John Aban, and Peter Archibald Hyde. Mr. Seidu works with the National Insurance Commission, while James Osei works with the Office of the Vice President as an administrator. John Aban and Peter Hyde, according to the OSP, are senior officers with the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. 3 of the accused pleaded not guilty when they appeared in court today. The 3 accused person, John Aban, was absent and has been the 3rd accused person, John Aban, was absent and has been directed to appear before the court on the next adjourned date, March 13, 2023. When convicted, the accused can go to jail for not less than 2 years and not more than 4 years, or a fine of not less than 500 penalty units, or both.
Now, a Labour analyst, Austin Game, says if no intervention is made urgently, Ghana's human resource will continue to deplete as many youth leave Ghana to seek greener pastures in Europe. His comment is in reaction to the mass exodus of skilled and unskilled Ghanaian youth over the period. In the following report, some youth lament the current state of affairs and calls for employment opportunities to be made available by government for the youth to survive.
Bibisa me say Germany ne UK ehemfa na ye some of them man say apart from say enye Ghana and enye within Africa na ye outside Africa say be Afghanistan and Iraq kra na adwuma wo ho
A picture of a beautiful, plush and comfortable life is painted by persons who have had the opportunity to leave the shores of the country. According to them, the move to travel to see greener pastures is ideal in the current economic situation of Ghana. Unfortunately, the pressure has caught up with majority of youth in Ghana who, in their words, describe their homeland as a country without a bright future. I met this driver who works with one of the ride-hailing apps on one of my usual rounds. Thinking he is living a decent life, he tells me how his hopes of living his dream life in the US was dashed after he was duped of his capital. According to him, traveling to see greener pastures became a priority after his search for a lucrative job became a Herculean task.
After SHS, 2018, so I had a couple of friends who traveled and they came and the pressure was something else because when you look, we grew together, and they are making I'm the third born in the family, but they are girls, so automatically I become the firstborn. So I decided just to pave the way so that the other ones following me won't come for that, won't come and see that struggle here. So I just sacrificed myself to just go and make it.
Bowing to pressures from peers, family members and friends on social media, Frank's best bet to secure a good life was banked in traveling to places he terms as a land of possibilities. But how does he get to such a country to live his dream life?
Around Ashama, there's some people who sell this American lottery. Yeah, so I went to buy it, and I was going there, and a man approached me, and it was like, he sees I'm very anxious of moving outside, so he will help me. So he said 8,000, but he will take like 80%. So when he's done with everything, and we are like the day I'm going, then I'll join the rest of the 2,000. I was doing this Toyota work. I was driving the Kia truck. Yeah, and aside that too, my boss was selling sugar, rice, oil, those things. And so when there's goods, we go and convey it into the container. We'll get something from there. I do double job, like just to save your hand. Oh, so even that time, like the money I used to give my mother, I've reduced it. She even thought maybe I've gotten some girl, and she didn't know.
Unfortunately, after all these sacrifices, Frank's dreams were short-lived. His agent, who had promised to secure his visa, left him in the middle of nowhere.
I went to him, and after when I left there, a guy confronted me and said, "Do I know the man?" Initially, the man told me, if anybody calls me around, I should not mind the person. It was the following day I had to come, then we go to the airport. Initially, we were supposed to go that day, but he told me it's because of COVID, and they said there are 2 people who have been seen affected by COVID. So when the flight has been cancelled, so we should do it the next day. So that was when I was coming back, and boom, the guy told me the thing. Seriously, that day, I didn't know what to do. I burst into tears. I cried.
Frank is not in this alone. A 35-year-old SHS graduate is also bent on leaving the shores of Ghana for a better life. His 3 attempts at securing a visa to his preferred countries have all failed.
Yeah, I tried this 3 times. I have 2017, 2018, and then 2020. Yeah, 2020. Yeah, the 2017 to 2020, 2017 to 2018. But then to China, it's a China move. The second one also Canada. Yeah, in Canada we will register 5,000. The agent from Kumasi, he said we should register 5,000. Okay, then we'll pay the rest when the visa is out. Okay, now we are waiting for the visa. After taking the 5,000, up to now the visa is not out. We heard that Canada is doing a visa lottery. Not is wrong. Canada don't do visa lottery. They don't do visa lottery. So when we try to confront the guy about it, they say, "Oh, it's true. We should try it because that's what they are doing now." So how much is it? He said 5,000. Initially he said 4,500, and then after collecting the money, we don't see him again.
He says the impediments will not deter him from carrying out his pursuit later in life.
It will end here. I'm still doing it. I'm still trying my best to travel to outside Africa. Yeah, outside Africa.
Is it that you don't really see any hope?
Yeah, there's a hope for the youth. There's only hope when your father or your mother has money. Then you can even brag on something. But somebody like me who's struggling, making it for myself, I don't think there's hope. Because if there's any hope, then I will be making a day more than $13.50 an hour.
But what does this situation mean to the development of a third world country like Ghana? A labor economist, Austin Game, tells me the repercussions.
People will have to go and continue to live. There's coming a time you need the human resource to even carry this microphone from one end to another, and you won't find it because they will leave. They don't have any interest in staying in this country any longer. And that should be of concern to all of us. Me, the people who love this, who claim they love the people of Ghana, should be of great concern to them.
He says the number of people leaving Ghana may escalate if no intervention is made urgently.
Job openings are very scanty. And in addition to that, we seem not to be managing the economy and widening the space for people to, survive in it and make money and be willing to contribute their quota to the development and growth of this nation.
Most individuals in this bracket have attributed the craze to travel for greener pastures to the soaring unemployment rate, high cost of living, stemmed from the worsening economic conditions of the country and skyrocketing inflation, amongst other factors. As of January 2023, data from the Ghana Statistical Service pegged inflation in Ghana at 54.1%.
The report was filed by Citi News' Kweku Idiama Ansa.
Now, a 6-year-old has suffered an injury to his head, and over 30 other people have been displaced following a rainstorm that ripped roofing sheets off about 7 houses on Sunday evening. The incident, which happened at Abraso in the Achimakwama district of the Ashanti region, also led to the total destruction of a church building and items such as mattresses, television sets, and furniture. Some of the affected victims say they have been rendered homeless. The National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO coordinator for the district, Joseph Amoni, who visited the affected homes, has been detailing the extent of damage to Citi News.
It's quite unfortunate. We couldn't even hear good news. It was around 4:30, and one of my colleagues also called me that there is a massive disaster at Abraso. So quickly, I assigned one of my guys to come and check whether it is true or not. And today, too, I myself and the team have also come here. I've gone through all the victims, and it's also very, very serious. Very, very serious. So far, so good. About 30-something people have also affected. And the unfortunate thing is that there's no injured. That's why there's one injured. But I can say it's not all that serious.
Joseph Amoni is the NADMO coordinator for Achimakwama district. Now, the assemblyman for Abraso electoral area, Emmanuel Nyanting, wants the government to extend help to the displaced persons.
In fact, I want to say that it is rather unfortunate such a catastrophe to happen in my electoral area. I will always sympathize with the victims and also call on authorities, most especially NADMO director and then the team, to come to our aid, because the complaint is above me. Some of the victims are rendered homeless, some are even injured, and it's a whole lot. We have about 15, I can count about 15 houses which has been unroofed. And it's really a challenge to me. I'm even supposed to go to work, but because of this incident, I cannot even go. I have to see to it that they are a bit relieved.
You heard the assemblyman for Abraso electoral area, Emmanuel Nyanting.
Residents in McCarthy Hill South in the Wejagbawe municipality fear flooding in the area will worsen if the authorities do not stop developers from encroaching the Ramsar site close to Pambros. The residents say some drains in the area have also been blocked with walls. There is more in the following report by Citi News' Philip Ni Latte.
Many communities within the Greater Accra region get flooded during the rainy season, a situation that is of concern for both residents and authorities. In many instances, the flood had rendered affected individuals homeless and also destroyed property. The situation has largely been attributed to the encroachment of Ramsar sites and also indiscriminate building on waterways. In a bid to prevent such occurrences in the South McCarthy enclave, residents want the government to come to their aid by stopping private developers from blocking major drains in the area with fence walls. According to the Assembly member for the electoral area, Clement Ejay, the blockage of two water channels known as South Drain and Bali River might cause serious flooding when the rains start.
When it rains, the community gets flooded. Here is a flood-prone area, and as you can see, here is a wetlands or a Ramsar site, and here shouldn't have been filled in the first place. But unfortunately, the municipality, as an assembly, we have looked on consent and allow individuals to just fill the place with reckless abandon, and it is affecting the community big time. And when you look at my right hand, this is where a Chinese developer has just erected a long wall, and in the process has blocked the Bali and the downstream and the rains that's coming from the Makati. And it is failing to the lava, and if care is not taken to avert the situation, the future, the coming drains, the community will be very catastrophic. We are sitting on a time bomb as a community.
Secretary for the South McCarthy Landlords Association, Richard Buedi, added that the activity of the developers in the area is threatening the lives of the many residents, hence the call to have them stopped.
Our problem is flooding. Anytime it rains, the place floods. So every year, we organize ourselves, and at times we receive assistance from some of the residents here, the MP, the Assembly, to dredge the gutters. When it is dredged, the flooding subsides. But of late, the activities of some developers, they are filling at places where the water has to flow. So it's becoming very difficult for us when it rains. And from what it has been done right now, I think the assemblyman will take you around. If you go, you realize that the course of the stream is filled and the structures are being constructed. So anytime it rains from now, it will be terrible for us over here. It will be very disastrous. And we request that whoever is filling the place and constructing to block the access of the road should cut drains so that the water will flow down to Pambros. Because it flows from here, from the Malam market, down to Pambros, then from there to Dansman.
For Nana Kunto, who is a resident of the area, they will be left with no option than to stage series of demonstrations to compel the appropriate authorities to address the issue.
Because I've lived in their country, I've lived in Japan, I've lived in China, I know what is going on right there. If you're a foreigner, you cannot go and do this in their country. You see, because even the citizens of themselves in China and Japan, or let me say Asia as a whole, they don't conserve their rules. You see, so what I would say is that if he wants us to live peacefully together and this community, then he has to do the right thing for us. So what if he doesn't do it? What will you do? Then I think there will be a big demonstration that we're going to do so that to get to the hearing of the president. This is what I want him to know. Wow. Yeah, we're going to do a demonstration because I can't be living here. And every year, twice or thrice, have to move from my house and sleep somewhere else, which is amazing. Which is not good. You see, we can't be waiting for this thing to be happening on us. Being a citizen of myself, I won't accept that to happen on me again.
Residents of South McCarthy, all they're asking for is for the various authorities to be up and doing and ensuring that developers who are filling the Ramsar site or blocking the drains in this particular community are stopped. The reason is when the rains set in, there will be chaos or disaster in this community. Reporting for Citi News, my name is Philip Ni Latte.
And back in studio, I'm Wilma Obobisa Coleman here with Hawa Idrisu. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. Still ahead in the bulletin, Citi FM and Citi TV to launch its Heritage Month today under the theme Make It Ghana. We'll bring you details shortly. Do stay with us.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
This is the year that... Are you ready? The Deep Love Experience 2023 is live at the Tehillah Temple of Harvest Chapel International, South Tesano, on Tuesday, February 14th, 2023 at 6 p.m. sharp. Led by Pastor Victoria Orenze. Together with the dynamic Perez music and the sensational Harvest Youth Choir, which is also hosting the program. On Valentine's Day, premium sponsor of the Deep Love Experience is Total Family Health Organization. Other sponsors include Rema Rafa Medical Center, Direct Savings and Loans, Blessed Acres Farms, White Sky Developers, O'Shea International Limited, and Amal Ghana Limited. Media sponsors are Sunny TV, Sunny FM, Brand Doctor, and HMHS Music Studio. It is absolutely free. The gate opens at 5 p.m. I walk in
More. It's something we're promised a lot these days. But what does more actually look like? Well, in Emirates Economy, it's endless entertainment on the biggest screens in the sky plus live sport. That's more. Gourmet cuisine that gives you a taste of your destination, served with free-flowing drinks. That's more. Special meals and toys for kids to keep your little explorers happy. That's more. So whichever way you look at it, more really does mean more in Emirates Economy. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, if you had your basic school education in Ghana, chances are that you still remember the story, a market day at Assessor. You may have forgotten the details and maybe even wonder if a market day at Assessor is a fiction or fact. Well, my colleague Caleb could have visited Assessor in the Upper Manyakobo district in the Eastern region. Let's hear what he found.
Indeed, day at Assessor is no fiction. A bird's view of the market shows a colorful and vibrant commerce center in the plains down the mountains of Koboland. In the story, readers are informed of traders traveling from long distances to do business at the popular bread basket. This is true. I met traders from Tema, Medina, and Ashaiman. I was told people travel from as far as Kumasi to come by to sell. There was everything you can think of in a Ghanaian market, from plantain to dry fish, gari to charcoal, except that the vegetables were fresher, the plantains were bigger, and they were all cheaper.
You came all the way from Medina to Assessor.
Yeah.
How much are you going to sell this for?
I use it for kinky.
Then it means that you get it at a cheaper price.
Oh, it's not cheap.
I mean, no. If you bought this in, say, Medina,
yeah,
it would have been more expensive. How much is this sold for in Medina?
Medina is 6.5 or 7.
This is
6.5 or 7. Yeah.
How many bags are you buying?
4 bags.
You're buying 4.
Yeah.
So it means you are saving either 400 cedis or 200 cedis
yeah,
on the 4 bags.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope that then your keke is sizable.
Yeah, my keke is fine.
I mean, I hope it's not too small.
No.
Okay.
It's okay.
So is it 4 CD or 5 CD?
3 CD, 5 CD. 3 CD, 4 CD.
3 and 4.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Thanks for Is this all you are buying from Assessor?
I buy 4 bags.
Is that all you came to buy?
Yeah.
Only maize?
No, I will buy gari and nyama things.
Okay, so gari is cheaper here.
I didn't buy gari today. Yeah. I'm going to buy charcoal too.
Why do you come all the way to Assessor to buy? What do you know about Assessor? Tell me something.
Assessor, if you buy it here, it's better than you buy it from Medina. Yeah. If you buy it from here, from Medina, maybe 4 bags, you get profits like 40 Ghana or 4 million or 2 million. You can use it to buy another thing. Yeah.
When you look at the distance, I mean the road, You have to travel on the stress and all. Is it worth it?
It's good for me.
I met two elderly farmers, one in his late 70s and the other early 80s. They were both going strong at the advanced ages, but each had concerns over the agri sector.
One thing that is worrying us here is when we bring maize to the market here, those people from Accra, they have to give us the price. When you bring the maize, you sit down until they tell you the price. So the price that they like, that's what they give us.
As a farmer, you decide how much you're selling.
No. When you come, they will not buy the maize for you. You put the maize down until the middleman will ask the women from Accra how much is the price that you bring. So they have to tell us the price that they are going to buy the maize.
How is that affecting you?
It's worrying us too much because formerly we convey the maize to the market at a cost price of, let's say, 10 cedi. Now the drivers are charging 30 cedi. So before you said this maize, you will not get anything at all. So it's worrying us a lot.
Do you make profit when you farm?
We don't make any profit at all. We don't make any profit.
So are the youth encouraged to go into farming?
No. Because of what we the elders are suffering from. The youth, they are no more interested in farming.
This particular government has a minister who has resigned previously, but they said they were doing planting for food and jobs. Yeah. They were giving fertilizers, pesticides. As a seasoned farmer, how would you describe
all these things? We are not benefiting. We heard it on the radio, but we are not benefiting from it because they don't come to our aid. We don't even see them. We only hear that but we don't see them. We don't get it at all. When you come here, they will tell you that they don't buy with coupon. So they are selling at their own prices. Those that have been released by the government, we don't get it.
So how much do you buy the fertilizers for?
We can't buy it at all. Even you don't see the fertilizer. We don't we don't see the fertilizer at all.
81.
81?
Yes.
So what are you doing here?
I'm trading.
You're trading. What do you trade in?
Farming trading.
You're a farmer?
Yeah.
Okay, so what kind of farm do you do? Maize?
Mixed farm.
Mixed farm?
Yeah.
Tell me about yourself. Tell me your business.
My business is farming, sowing cassava, plantain, maize, and others.
How many years have you farmed?
I can say I start farming from 19. I completed school in 1963. And I work through government small, but it's not qualified for me, so I came to farming. So according to my farming operations, it will be 54 or 60 something now.
So you've been farming all your life?
Yes.
How do you describe farming? Is it a good thing? Is it profitable?
It's good, but only if you don't have capital. Capital is a problem of farming. Do you get me? Yeah.
So do you get capital? How do you get access to capital?
This capital it depends how the bank or the government will help us.
Do the banks easily give you credit?
The bank would give you although you have small deposit there before you get, but if they have nothing and you go there, they can borrow you.
Okay. Have you benefited from government's fertilizer, pesticides, any of those?
We benefit through it, but it is too costly for us. The chemicals is too costly. So some of the farmers we can't buy.
For drivers and commuters, the Assessor Road is a source of headache.
We complain about the dust, but we don't know what is going on. We complain several times, but we don't know what is going on. Like for water the road. But anytime we come here, sometimes you are going to sick and things, Qatar and things is worrying us, yeah.
After so many years of serving the nation, the Assessor market is an open-air market with a few sheds. Foodstuff are mainly left on the ground. Sanitation at Assessor market was not remarkable. I asked the DC of Upper Manyakobo, Joe Sam, the development plans for the Assessor market and the roads leading to it.
We are trying to give a facelift to the market because it's an old market, and it's a market that has been a market in the whole country. There's a food basket of East region and as well as Ghana. So in our next year budget, this year we don't plan for anything on the market. Only some small things that we want to do. So next year, we are going to fully work on the market and give it a facelift. The road was started before I came in, but with my effort, it is ongoing. I asked the contractor, I said, very soon, the first phase of the bitumen will start. But now, our main challenge is the dust. When two cars passes, you can't penetrate, you can't go through the dust. Cars have been colliding on the road, and we have been warning the drivers even to take their time on the road. And then we ask the contractor to be watering the vantage points of the road. So he also agreed that from next week, that one will continue consistently. So I think, though he's doing well, but the people are suffering because of the dust. And very soon that thing will also die down.
From Assessor in the Upper Manyakobo district in the Eastern region, I am Caleb Kuda for Citi News.
Let's bring you more stories now. And former Black Stars goalkeeper Fatau Dauda has lauded the decision of the Ghana Football Association to appoint Chris Hilton as the new head coach of the men's senior national team. The former Newcastle manager takes over from Otto Addo after serving as technical advisor for 12 months with the Black Stars. According to Dauda, Chris Hilton will bring a wealth of experience to the team that will impact the squad positively.
That's good news for us. That's what we're waiting for. Because very soon, I think the Black Stars will engage in some assignments, some games. Coach is an experienced coach. I've been watching from afar. I remember recently came to visit us in the academy. He shared his experience with us. Very nice man and good man too. So I think I'm very sure he's going to help with the assistant Coach Ramani and then just watching. I think they will do a wonderful job. I'm very sure. That's very good because he's been with the team during even the qualifier against Nigeria and other games. So he know the quality, he know the team. So I think it is very easier for him to continue where Otto left because he was in the team. But now, as he said, he's in a different capacity as a head coach now. So I think he knows the voice and he knows the core of the team. So I think he will continue from there. Then he will do well for the team.
That was former Black Stars goalkeeper Fatau Dauda. Let's now get some reactions from Ghanaians concerning the new Black Stars head coach.
I just think it's very, very bad. We need a new coach because he was part of the technical team that went to the World Cup. And since everything went bizarre, I don't think we should appoint the same person again. We should change the system. From the technical team, everyone should be off so that we get a new team to take us to the qualifiers and we'll see what you can do from there. I don't think it will be a different thing altogether. It will be the same because they will control him and they will make him pick their players and it will still go to the square zero. So I don't think we should even take it into consideration.
Oh, I think that's good for now, but all depends on we Ghanaians and the people, the GFCK and all that. You know, sometimes they like to do politics and all that. But I think if they should stop all this, it will help. If they appoint somebody, they have to help the person and give the person the encouragement and all that. So the person too can work, so we can also support. But I think, Ghana, sometimes, the big men are on and off. Oh, that one, it depends. It depends. I think if they give him the opportunity, he can do something better.
Those were a section of Ghanaians expressing their view on the appointment of the new Black Stars head coach, Chris Hilton.
Now, Citi FM and Citi TV will today launch its Heritage Month with the theme Make It Ghana. The month-long celebration of all things Ghana will begin on March 1, 2023 and will seek to celebrate Ghana's rich culture, heritage, and most importantly, to promote tourism. This will be done through on-air programs and outdoor events. Here is the head of events and partnerships at Citi FM and Citi TV, Fema Eduyame, giving us a lineup of what to expect.
From the whole of March is our Heritage Month, and March is just around the corner. This year, we have a lineup of activities on air and events that we are going to do during the Heritage Month. So we have the on-air productions for both radio and TV. We have Heritage Caravan happening. That's within the first week of March. We have, at the tail end of March, we have the Back to Your Village Food Bazaar. So all these programs will be launched. The entire Heritage Month will be launched tonight. And the theme for this year's launch is Make It Ghana. What we are trying to say is, whatever it is that we are doing, we want everyone to bear in mind that Ghana first. And so when we talk of investment, three main components are driving this: investment, tourism, and film. With film, we use this to tell our stories better, who we are as a people. So in telling those stories, we want to be mindful that we are talking Ghana. When it comes to tourism, it's just about selling and promoting Ghana. This is what it's all about, telling our story the right way that we want our story to be told and how we want the narrative to be. So we are being deliberate about this.
That was the head of events and partnerships at Citi FM and Citi TV, Frema Edunyami.
Now, the Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Yao Lecha, has stated that the venue to host the country's 66th independence anniversary celebration is about 95% complete. Works on the Youth Resource Center were abandoned for some months by the contractor due to some unstated reasons. However, because the Sip March parade will be held in Ho, some ministers have been sent to the site to get the ground ready for the event. Speaking to Citi News, the Volta Regional Minister said the occasion in Ho would be a launch pad for other initiatives to attract investors into the region.
We are preparing as a region. All stakeholders are preparing. We've had a lot of meetings. We have a local organizing committee, which I chair, and then we also have the National Planning Committee, chaired by the Director of Operations at the Presidency. We've had meetings together, and we also have subcommittees. And the subcommittees involves almost all the stakeholders in the region. We have the Regional House of Chiefs, the political parties, and even the non-governmental organizations.
Meanwhile, the minister has entreated patrons of Citi TV's Heritage Caravan to prepare for breathtaking experiences at the Amejope Canopy Walkway and the Oti Waterfall. The Canopy Walkway is a new addition to the Oti Waterfall, and it is found in the forest of the highest human settlement in Ghana. It will be the first stop for patrons of the 2023 Heritage Caravan. Here is the Volta Regional Minister speaking on what patrons should expect.
We have a wonderful canopy walkway along the waterfall, the Wote Waterfall. And when you are on it, you are baptized by sprinkling. And when you get down to the pool, you are baptized by immersion. So it's an awful experience. You have to descend about 260 steps to get to the canopy walkway, and then takes 260 steps back to the top. It's exciting. You have to walk a distance through the forest, and it's a wonderful experience. So I'll recommend to others, and I'm sure that when you come on the 4th of March, you'll experience it yourself, and then you'll be able to market it, because we've got increasing numbers of people visiting Amejope. Before then, we only had the Gemi, the cross on the Gemi mountain. So now people combine the waterfall with the hiking to the Gemi mountain, and it's an experience.
That was the Volta Regional Minister, Dr. Archibald Yao Lechana. The Heritage Caravan 2023 is powered by Citi TV in partnership with the Ghana Tourism Authority, with support from Citi FM and proudly sponsored by Hollard Ghana, the European Union, Malta Guinness, Ebony Condoms, Goil Company Limited, National Lotteries Authority, Voltic Natural Mineral Water, and Colgate Natural Extracts.
And that's how we end the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. For more news, you can log on to our website, citinewsroom.com. I am Wilma Ububi-Sakoman, and this afternoon I was here with
Hawa Idrisu.
Up next is the afternoon's edition of the Citi Business News. Many thanks for your time, and do have a good day.